Hello, and welcome to the fifth episode of Did You Know? I'm Chris Lloyd of the Northern Echo, and here I try to explain a few of life's historical fascinations. Now, did you know that Ferry Hill may possibly have been named after Sir Roger de Ferry, who 800 years ago was a very brave knight who saved Ferry Hill by slaying the terrible, the appalling wild boar which terrorized the town. Sadly, I don't have a picture of Sir Roger, as he was around 800 years ago when they didn't have selfies. But these are his seals, with, as you can see, the terrible features of the wild boar at their heart. And these prove that he had a connection to the creature that he dispatched. So, if you are sitting comfortably, let me begin. Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, in a faraway corner of South Durham, there lived a horrid brawn. As you can see, it really was a most atrocious creature. The brawn made its den in the village of Brandon, the brawn's den, and it would rampage fearfully through Branspeth, the brawn's path, to its favourite forest at the top of Ferry Hill, where it would root and snuffle in its greedy hunt for truffle in a way that scared and outraged the decent local people. Then it would find a muddy patch of ground, and as happy as a pig in carts, it would enjoy the luxurious pleasure of volutation, which actually sounds quite good, doesn't it? And he would be rolling around in the mud while making execrable noises. Now, knights from near and far tried in vain to slay the formidable brute, but it was too quick for them, and with luck on its side, it always made fortuitous escapes. It was, as you may imagine, a piece of streaky bacon. But Roger of Ferry studied the movements of this porcine purveyor of panic, and he knew that it liked to come crashing through the trees on the top of Ferry Hill's cliff. There, he devised a cunning plan for it. He dug a deep pit which he lightly covered with boughs and turf, and on the far side of the pit he placed some of the boar's favourite food. And there on the far side, brave, brave, brave Sir Roger stood, armed with his trusty sword, ready for the appalling creature to reveal itself. At length, the gallant brute came trotting on his onward path, and seeing the passage barred, he rushed headlong, says the chronicler Robert Surtees in his 1823 history of County Durham. Angered that a mere human, should stand in its way and defy its awesome power, a red mist descended over the boar, and it charged at Sir Roger. But of course, before it could actually reach him, it plummeted into the pit, and then Sir Roger calmly ran it through with his sword. How the people of Ferry Hill rejoiced! They had been freed from this terrible malign presence that had terrorized their community, filling the minds of children and young women with paralyzing dread for so long. Amid great cheering, they filled in the pit, and to mark the historic spot so that future generations would never forget the heroism of Sir Roger de Ferry, they placed a stone cross on top of it. That cross is known as Cleves Cross because it stands on the top of the cliffs of Ferry Hill. And even to this day, there is the remains of a stone cross at Cleves Cross, near the primary school, on the edge of Ferry Hill. And in the wall of Ferry Hill Town Hall, there is to be found an inscribed ancient stone, which was once placed next to Cleves Cross on the cliff top, and it tells the story of the Boar and of brave Sir Roger de Ferry. And in 2000, a splendid millennium window was placed in the town hall, rather splendidly, showing Sir Roger in full boar slaying action. Although I always think that the boar itself looks rather placid for a horrid brawn. The boar is also to be found on Ferry Hill's coat of arms, the council's coat of arms. You can see it there in the bottom left-hand quadrant. And now, quite magnificently, children who are the Ferry Hill ambassadors for community change have been inspired by one of my articles to use it as the basis for creating a new information board about Sir Roger and the Wild Boar, which is now outside Sainsbury's Local in Brancepeth Road at Cleves Cross. But the big question in all of this is whether there is any truth in this wonderful story. Now, some proper historians will say that the name Ferry Hill has nothing to do with Sir Roger de Ferry. It apparently comes from an old English word, fergen, which means wooded hill. Those same proper people, they will say that the stone cross at Cleves Cross has nothing to do with the death of a wild boar, but it is either the elevated spot from which pilgrims got their first glimpse of St Cuthbert's shrine at Durham Cathedral, or more boringly, they will say it is just a medieval boundary stone. And these skeptics will say that the first and only complete version of this story is told by Robert Surtees in 1823 in his History of County Durham. It seems as if he made it all up on a whim. But those with a little romance in their souls will say this is a strange story with an echo of truth at its heart. It is not like those dragon-slaying myths of Sockburn or Lambton, which are told to promote religion. This seems to be the record of a notable man's hunting exploits. And they will say, those with romance in their souls, that there is real evidence that brave Sir Roger de Ferry actually existed. There are his seals, for example, in Durham Treasury, containing the boar's head there, which proves he has a close connection to the beast. And indeed, Sir Roger is said to be buried in the churchyard at Kirk Merrington, where he is beneath a big headstone that once had inscribed on the top of it a spade and a sword, which were the weapons that he used, the tools that he used to slay the wild boar. And then in 1867, when the stackyard at Cleves Cross Farm, which is lost now beneath the modern developments, when the stackyard was being repaired, an ancient and deep pit was discovered, which all the eminent experts of the day agreed was the very pit in which Roger had lured the boar to its death. So that, I think you will agree, proves conclusively that the story is true and it is not just a fairy tale. Thank you. Now, if you like this sort of nonsense, I fill billions of pages with it in the Northern Echo on a Saturday, and there is a piece posted on the Northern Echo's website every morning at about 9:30 a.m. And for exclusive ad-light reading and access to our members-only reward scheme, there is a digital subscription, which has a bargain 20% off at the moment. Details are on the website. And don't forget to subscribe here to Did You Know, so you will know when the next video is posted. Thanks so much for watching Did You Know? And now you can say that yes, you do know about Sir Roger and the wild boar chase of Ferry Hill. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you for the next episode. Goodbye for now.